Dear friends, Sri Vasanthagesan, IRS, Executive Director, Rubber Board is with us. In spite of his busy schedule, he has been kind enough to come over here and address the gathering. Last week he was in Calcutta in connection with the family meetings and rubber production and rubber growing in northeastern and around there. He has been very kind enough to depute all the required scientists from RRIA and from Rubber Board to attend this meeting. We are really indebted to you, sir, for your gracious presence, and we are happy to have you as your views are very important. Many of us are rubber growers, we are officers, at the very same we are growers also. We have several concerns are here. See, main concern is one of the main concerns which we would like to bring to your notice is that the availability of trained manpower for tapping is very less in Kerala. So we are facing difficulties. Myself being a small grower, we are also facing shortage of trained manpower. See, not these people who are coming from those areas, if proper training is given to those people by the Rubber Board, it will be a great help to us. That is one point. Based on the discussion which we were having in the 2-3 sessions, one of the points raised was that enough safeguard points are there in the Act and the system. But the enforcement of the norms, that is the main difficulty point. So we request the Executive Director of the Rubber Board to look into those aspects and enforce the norms strictly. Whatever is available, whatever power is with you, that power shall be utilized for the benefit of the growers as well as for the processors and tire manufacturers. We are not of the opinion that rubber import should not be done. We are not favoring that view also. There is a shortage of rubber production in Kerala and in India. Whereas the consumption is around 15 to 16 lakhs of tons and the production is just that 10 lakhs and about 8 lakhs. It's a gap between that. I would like to bring to your kind notice that there was a time in Kerala alone the production was about 12 lakh tons. It has come down to some 3.4 lakh tons to this thing. Why? Because the rubber growing, tapping and processing is an unprofitable area. See how 250 rupees we were getting at 2008 and 9. Those areas below up to 2010. Now we are getting around 180 rupees. I am a person who is selling only grade 4 rubber. Grade 4 rubber sheet, we are getting only 180 and 183 rupees per kg. Even that itself is not sufficient to meet the expenses. Rubber tapping charges, asset charges, maintenance of the estate, all those are highly expensive areas. We are not able to meet both the ends. Your kind attention is invited to the real difficulties of the growers so that we will be able to sustain this business. One thing that I am now also should understand, crushing the grower will not help the tire industry also. See what has happened to the paddy cultivation in Kerala. Earlier it was the life of the farmers in Kerala. A reasonable price was there. Now it has become a very rare species in Kerala. Even for our daily requirement, we will import rice from say other states nearby states or even from Punjab, Haryana, like that. If that situation is coming for rubber also, then what will be the position of tire industry and rubber consuming industry? So crushing the rubber growers to the minimum size and all that, it will not help us. So the attention of the Rubber Board and the rubber executives, rubber scientists, everybody, there should be a win-win situation for the tire industry, for the rubber consuming industry and the growers. These things are discussed at length in this discussion. Some emerging points will come. So innovative ideas will come. The respected MP, Francis George was here. He was saying to me that we should formulate an idea. In what way we will be able to help the growers? in what way we can control this system. If such an idea is there, he and the other fellow MPs are prepared to bring those matters to the notice of the Government of India and other secretaries and other respected people. So I am not continuing with this. We are very happy to have Vasanthagesan. He is very simple, he is approachable, accessible, and he knows the things in and out of everything. Even though he is from Tamil Nadu, yes, he is a friend of Kerala, and we are, say last time, myself and Mr. Rajgopal, we were there. We invited for a program which we were planning to conduct at Kajarapalli. Unfortunately, because of his busy schedule, and he has to go to Delhi for some meeting, we were forced to cancel this meeting, that meeting. After that, we have right the meeting in Kottayam. Anyway, we are happy that he is here and he is willing to express his views and he is willing to help the growers in Kerala and the farmers and land in Kerala. So, Ella Adaru Velavantikondo. ബഹുമാന്യരായ നമ്മുടെ റബ്ബർ ബോർഡിന്റെ എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് ഡയറക്ടർ ശ്രീ വസന്തകേശൻ സാറിനെ നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാ അനുവാദത്തോടുകൂടി എല്ലാവരുടെയും മനസ്സിന്റെ വികാസമായ ആളുകളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള സ്നേഹം അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് അദ്ദേഹത്തെ സദസ്സിനെ അഭിസംബോധന ചെയ്യുവാൻ ഞാൻ ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. റബ്ബർ പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ കമ്മീഷണർ ശ്രീ CGV സിദ്ധസ്, നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാം സ്വീകാര്യനായ റബ്ബറിന്റെ ഉത്പാദന വിപണന സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ള എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളിലും നല്ല അഗാധമായ പാണ്ഡിത്യമുള്ള CGV ഇവിടെയുണ്ട്. കൊമേഴ്ഷ്യൽ ആംഗിളെല്ലാം അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് നല്ല വശമാണ്. ഞാനൊരു കൃഷിക്കാരൻ നൽകിയിട്ട് ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞാൽ കൃഷിക്കാരനാണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ കൃഷിക്കാരനും അല്ല, ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥരാണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥരല്ലാത്തൊരു ഇതാണ്. 10-30 കൊല്ലം കേരള ഗവൺമെന്റിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്ത ആളാണ്. ഇപ്പോ റബ്ബർ കൃഷി നമ്മുടെ ജന്മസിദ്ധമായ ഒരു 3-4 തലമുറയായിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ കൃഷി ചെയ്യുന്ന ആൾക്കാരാണ്. അപ്പൊ അതിലേക്കെല്ലാം ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ആശങ്കകൾ ധാരാളമുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞു, കൃഷിക്കാരുടെ മനസ്സിൽ ആശങ്കകൾ ധാരാളമുണ്ട്. വിപുലീകരിക്കാനുള്ള കൽപ്പും അതിനുള്ള അറിവുള്ള ആൾക്കാരാണ് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ബഹുമാനായ സിജുവിനെയും ഈ മീറ്റിംഗിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ ഹാർദവുമായി സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്തു. വസന്തകേശൻ സാറിനെ മീറ്റിംഗിന് അഡ്രസ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഐ ഇൻവൈറ്റ് യു.
President, TRAMA Management Association, and Vice President, TRAMA Management Association, other office bearers, the officers from the Rubber Road and Rubber Institute of India, and the rubber growers. Good evening to all of you. As he mentioned that earlier, though I had committed to come on that particular day, but unfortunately, some meeting has been kept on the same day at Delhi. At Delhi. So I really feel bad that day, but it is really fortunate that they were able to keep Kottayam a different day, so that I am able to associate with all of you. As he mentioned that I am from Tamil Nadu, but I am here now more than 5 years in Kerala. Earlier to that in Custom Revenue Commissionerate Kochi for more than 3.5 years. So now it is more than 5 years. So now I have improved that I can understand Malayalam. Okay, so that much I have improved. Coming to the topic or the concerns raised by the President and the questions have been raised before the panelists. These are all the real concerns, and these are all, if you are able to find out the solution, that will give the permanent solution for the price issue. Okay. How I am telling this statement, whatever we are having the concern like availability of the tappers, frequency of the tapping, cost for spraying, fertilizers cost, rain guarding, tapping cost. If you are able to reduce all these strategic points by producing the latex, the cost of production will come down. Then, in the same rate, you will be getting the benefit. So that my approach is that, of course, we will try with the government of whatever you are giving the suggestions based on actual cost of production, actual difficulty as a rubber grower. We are supposed to put up before the government of India and the relevant authority that we will continuously we will do that. There is no second thought about it. But I would strongly advocate that we have to concentrate on reducing the cost of production, and we have to concentrate on value and value addition after the production of latex and within the plantation. So this could give the benefit, or this will lead to the sustenance of rubber plantation. I strongly believe that. Okay, and whatever rubber board is doing right now, how fast we will be able to do that matters. Now, the government of India also advocates and rubber board also adopts to work with various other agencies also. Not only with we ourselves have to do, it's not like that. For example, any wood research, we are collaborating with the Forest ICFRE, and then if any thing like tapping machines, instant DRC testing, any enzymes, all these things. So we are actually collaborating with the CSIR. We are having the MOU with the ICAR. And if any AI-based technology in our rubber supply value chain, we are collaborating with the CDAC. So many premium agencies, now we have started with collaborations. So that will give the advantage of some or other agencies or some or other institutes. They will be able to come up with a solution. Of course, rubber board will give the required input, required technical support or knowledge or required enabling platform. We will do that. So, last Rubber Research Foundation Day, DG CSIR, Madam Kalai Selvi has attended the Rubber Research Foundation Day. So, she has suggested we'll go with the specific requirement so that we will concentrate on that. Instead of talking about 50 points, we will select few points we will work on. Once that is successful, then we will work on different requirements. That is actually very good, and we have immediately given the list of requirements for mechanization, automation, technological intervention, all these things, of course, based on the different stakeholders' representative interaction also, apart from the experience of rubber board officers. And for expansion in the non-traditional area, apart from Kerala, we are collaborating with various agricultural universities also. We are having an MOU. Apart from that, any other scope is there to give the value addition for the rubber plantation, whether it is existing or new plantation. For instance, carbon credits. Dr. James Jacob also specialist in that. So we are continuously working on how to bring the carbon credit to the rubber plantation, because I understood that scientifically, technically, rubber plantation is actually friendly to the environment. That is, it's used as around 25 to 26 tons per year. So there is a potential, but there is a technical glitches are there. For example, the concept of additionality concept, right? Because these are all existing plantations. So what is additionality? So then we are discussing whether the intercrops in the existing plantation or new plantation, at least what are the criteria the growers has to fulfill it to come up with the carbon credit, or the consuming industry has to show the interest to come forward and give the carbon credit in the voluntary carbon credit market. So like that, so wherever the avenues are there or possibilities are there, we will take the lead. So you also have to support the rubber board to connect at the right institutions, right persons to discuss. So for that, this type of panel discussion, this type of associations, continuously there. See, I could see many of the retired officers from the rubber board and retired scientists from the rubber board, they are associating still with this type of association, this type of institutions. I'm really happy that the Kerala, it is happening like that. Okay, And then there is one wrong perception that rubber board is not concentrating in the Kerala as far as rubber plantation is concerned. Absolutely no. Okay, absolutely no. And there is no meaning or purpose for that doing so. Because still, on actual quantity, Kerala is the major rubber producing country, rubber producing state. Okay, so the percentage will change. For example, if more production comes from northeastern states, the percentage will change. That is only the arithmetic. But the actual numbers only we have to see whether the production is increasing or not. If the area is going higher side or reducing, all these things, we have to see the actual numbers. Because as mentioned by earlier speakers, 35 to 38% we are still importing. And expanding in the non-traditional area or northeast, no way will affect the traditional area. And you please understand that whatever import by the tire industry is doing, 99% is block rubber. We are producing the sheet rubber. So sheet rubber cannot be competed with the block rubber. So wherever we are actually speaking against the government policy or agitating, we have to be very particular. Just for igniting somebody, we should not compare with the non-comparable ones. We have to empower ourselves, we have to strengthen ourselves in the meaningful way. Whatever the rate the tire company is giving while importing for the block rubber per kg, how can we compare to the per kg sheet rubber here? It is not actually meaning. There is no meaning for it. See, and whatever the controversial points, whatever uncomfortable points, we should not hesitate to discuss. We should not hesitate to deliberate. We should not hesitate to argue. Then only we come to the conclusion that whether the point of discussion is correct or not. So, I have no inhibition. I means here the rubber board activity. Whether it is RRI or rubber production department or any other department, we have no inhibition to discuss how it is happening, what is happening from the government side, what are the inputs we have given, what is the policy, everything should be transferred. So that we can attempt the point where it is actually required. So, rubber board will continuously to do that, and then EUDR, whatever this new things comes. Strictly speaking, actually, for the rubber product, Export Promotion Council is not rubber board. It is a capex. Okay, but still, this EUDR type of regulation is directly affect the rubber growers. We have taken the lead. It is only voluntary. Of course, you all have supported, you all have given the credibility to give the confidence to the rubber board. Yes, if we initiate, then growers will support us. So that confidence we are having. Of course, we will deliver up to your confidence level on the rubber board. So, I'm really happy I'm able to participate today among all of you. And I'm sorry that the panel discussion have been cut short for some time. So, but don't leave them. After this, you please question them also again if you have any doubts. And I will be also available for some time if any question or any addition. If I am able to do, I will also join. But I have to leave after some time, maybe 5-10 minutes. If anything particular to ask me, then the scientists or specialists like Dr. James Jacob, RPC and other scientists here, you please do that. Otherwise, with this I thank once again for the organizers and the participants. Thank you very much.
Any questions? Specifically, we have to
Left hand, you can ask me all.
Yeah. Others regularities are not the
So, any policy oriented, the future of rubber cultivation, I didn't touch that. Okay. So, like that, if anything is there, please ask. All the questions.
Good evening, sir. Question regarding EUDR. Main issue is that we should have rubber produced from plantations planted before 2020. So, what steps is the rubber board taking to help the growers to get the certification to say that our plantations have been planted before 2020. Almost 90% or 95% of the plantations in Kerala are planted before 2020. So, what is the kind of proof that we have to give the Rubber Board for them to issue a certificate?
Yeah. See, actually, it is not like that. Your understanding is partially correct. Okay. See, the UDR is telling that whatever the plantation comes after December 2020 in the deforested area, those items will not be allowed in the EU market. This is the thing. So it is not only to prove that the plantation has been established before December 2020. It's not only that. Lot of other things also there. It requires the mapping, the traceability part of it. Okay, so and then the legality part of it. So all those things, what we have done, we have identified the technology partner, one Trust 201. They have done in other countries also the UDR, and they are continuously doing it. And they have enough experience. But without the Rubber Board's support, they cannot do. It is not that they also, anyone may not be able to do, because we have around 30 lakh small growers in the country. So we have established the web platform called ISMR, that is already Indian Sustainable Natural Rubber. We have established a web platform, and we have identified, we have given enough training to Rubber Board officers as well as the Trust 201 enumerators also. We have identified 10 districts, including 8 districts in Kerala, to start with. So by July end or July, we will be able to have enough data with us for supporting the exporters to the EU, whether it is a tire or not tire. That we have come up with some economic model between the Trust 201 and the Rubber Board without charging anything to the grower. This polygon mapping will be done. How they will take that expenditure, or how the Rubber Board will take the operational cost, because it's a huge data. So cloud purchase of cloud and everything, lot of operational cost also there. So we are devising the user charges. Okay, user is not the grower; that's the exporter. As per the EUDR, the responsibility on the exporter only, not the grower, So exporter has to send the due diligence certificate along with the export consignments. That the Rubber Board will facilitate to give the traceability certificate as well as due diligence certificate wherever it is required. In other words, in simple words, the traceability certificate as well as the checking of legality, we will facilitate the exporter up to their factory gate. Whatever the raw material they are receiving up to the factory. Then with that, whatever they supposed to do, that is the storage, segregation of storage and the other lines and everything that they will do. And along with this, that particular system will be integrated with the European Union system. So this is how it will be done. So we are doing the bottom-up approach. From the grower, we are getting all the data, and data cannot be stored anywhere else other than the Rubber Board data. And all those things we are following based on the instruction of Government of India, that is VT, we are following it up. So I hope it's a humongous task, but I hope we'll be able to do that. Yeah.
So we are not disputing that there should be import against export. But we say that the CR, the norms were fixed long back. And the Make in India says that we should produce here to substitute import. These are all policies of the government. By following that, the norm should be reviewed at least after, say, 20 years. The consumption of rubber, which is imported against the export, may not be as specified as of today's requirement. And today's, it is the policy of the government to support, though it is a commercial item, we are agriculturists. So the government should lead, and suppose we give the arithmetic or the actual accounts on what is happening on this consumption of imported rubber, what is available in India, all this, suppose we give clear pictures, whether the board can support us with the Ministry of Commerce or the DGFT.
Yeah, thank you. It's the right question. As you mentioned that the DGFT has to come out with a notification. Okay. Recently, during the Invest Kerala Global Summit held at Cochin, Honorable Commerce and Industry Minister have had the stakeholders meeting among the rubber stakeholders at Cochin. Around 25 to 30 members they have attended. That time, the CO to be revised. This is one of the requests have been made by the stakeholders, which in principle HCM have agreed. We will draw to the notice to the DGFT to initiate the action on that. And if anything, they ask from the report, then we will do that. Here, one thing is that here we are mainly concentrating on the tire industry because they are the major consumers, nothing else. Okay. So, the technical side which I understood that more than 200 different types of tire is there. So it is not that as of I know that 90 tire, track tire, lorry tire, first tire, only this much. Okay. So, but 200 plus different category of tires are there. So, for everything, the input and output norms to be done. So, the industry support also certainly is required. The technical support also certainly is required. They cannot simply lie on particular document because it's a document. So, there also rivalry is there. Okay. But at the same time, wherever the rubber board is able to give the input, at the earliest possible, we will be able to give. So, I hope the due attention of the HCAM during that particular stakeholders meeting will push once again with the DGFT. Okay, that I will write the letter to DGFT by highlighting that particular discussion held with the HCAM and request them to take a post.
ബഹുമാനായ റബ്ബർ പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ കമ്മീഷണർ ശ്രീ ഡോക്ടർ സിജു അവരുടെ സദസ്സിനെ അഭിസംബോധന ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Executive Director for the Board, Office Directors of TRAMA Management Association, deputies, my dear colleagues, very good afternoon to all of you. So, the future of rubber cultivation. At the outset, let me say that the future of rubber cultivation is bright in India. Now, when I say this, I should draw the contours within which I am talking. Now, future till which period I can do? 1 decade, 2 decade, half a century. So, I should draw that contour. So, it should be a reasonable future. So, within that reasonable contours, I should have some assumptions. So, being from economist background, we always assume something. So, here my prime assumption is maybe in the coming 2 decades or 3 decades, there won't be any major innovations which will replace another completely from the market. So, that is one assumption I would like to make. Another assumption is the world order, which is currently we have. There won't be much change in the world order, so that the economic growth happening now will be there. So as the time goes on, the economic growth will be there. And if it is there, the research we done in RRI regarding the rubber consumption and all, it is highly correlated with economic growth, the consumption of rubber. So I expect that the consumption of rubber in the country or in the world will increase. So these are some of the major macro level assumptions which I'd like to have to examine the future of rubber in the country. And why I said it is bright because now if we see the central government, the rubber board is around, the central government is very interested in the sector. As our sir mentioned there, after sir took over, our honorable ED, the government approved these schemes for rubber board, which shows the interest of the government to address the issues in the sector. And we have a state government. We know that rubber contributes almost 10% of the state agriculture GDP. It's a major share to the, it accounts a major share of the state agriculture GDP. So state government is also very interested and they have brought in schemes like rubber production incentive scheme. So the thing I want to say is the rubber board, the central government and the state government, we are here around to address the issues which are popping up in the sector. I'm not saying that there won't be issues, I'm not saying that there won't be ups and downs, it will be there, but we are here to address those issues. And as mentioned by our ED sir, we are addressing issues like EUDR, we are bringing in ISNR, we are developing a platform for adoption of plantation. I will come to that later. But we are here, so I feel that yes, we have a very good future. Now, when I say this, I should, we all know, I think, during I missed the panel discussion. Actually, I'm very interested to attend those things. Definitely, many would have already addressed those issues, or a place where actually India stands, means Kerala stands in the rubber geography of India. We know that our state still produces around 71% of the rubber produced in the country. Still 71%. How can you imagine a state which produces 71% of a crop? No. So it has very significant, 71%. In the same tune, I would like to say that only 10% of that is consumed in the state. To that I will come later. But still we produce around 71%. And as you have said, as speakers have said earlier, we are importing a large volume of rubber. We are a rubber deficit nation. Right from 1947, we were a rubber deficit nation. Now we are importing around 40% of our requirement. Mainly we are importing from Southeast Asia and African countries. Around 75% of our requirement comes from Southeast Asia. But we need that. We need that rubber. Without that import we can't do. We are producing around 8.57 lakh tons and our consumption is around more than 14 lakh tons. So that gap is met through imports. There is no other goal. So that will continue. But still, if you see, we are to bridge that gap, actually we are planting rubber in other parts of the country in mission modes. Now we are expanding in large scale in northeastern states. Already we have planted 1.25 lakh hectares. We are on the mission to complete 2 lakh hectares. And if government support, maybe we will move to the central India. Such expansions will go on. But the production, the productivity which I foresee in the next 1 or 1.5 decades, when I put it, still Kerala will be around contributing around 50% after 1 or 1.5 decades. of the total production in the country. So that is the significance of the state. That is the significance of rubber production in the state. Now, having said this, what are the major issues which we confront? Of course, as a production man, as some have mentioned here, of course, the labor scarcity. That's a major issue. Another thing I would like to say, if I ask some farmers, whatever is the major problem we are facing, they will first say price. The price of rubber is low. See, price we can't do anything. Price is not in our hands. We have integrated our economy long back with the world economy. So whatever is happening in the world economy will be reflected in the Indian market, whether it is rubber or gold or whatever not. So price is not in our hands. So that is given. Now what we can do as a production man, what I can do when the price is not in my hand. So the cost, when we take the per unit cost, maybe somebody from RRI may be correcting me, it comes to around 1.5, 1.6 lakh per hectare of the mature plantation. The average cost of management comes around 1.5, 1.6 lakh per year. And when I divide with the production, if production quantity is low, my per unit cost will be high. My cost of production will be high. So I should try to bring down my cost of production. To bring down the cost of production, my productivity should be high. So if my base is a larger value, my cost of production will come down. Now if I divide with the 1.6 or 1.5 lakh with around 1,400 kg per hectare, what now I am getting, it will come around 103 rupees, 104 rupees per kg. But if my productivity is around 2,000 kg per hectare, then that will come down to how much? 75 rupees. So there lies the difference. So as a production man, I will be interested to improve the productivity of rubber in any part of the country, particularly in Kerala. If we want to sustain rubber production in the state, we need to address the productivity issue. Now, productivity issue is due to many factors, many variables. Like for example, tapping, regularity of tapping quality. Now, when we visit many plantations, we see the tapping quality, the tapping depth, the tapping angle. It all matters in production, in productivity. So we need to do corrections there, we need to do interventions there. Similarly, another thing is aging of the plantation. I think we did a study a few years back, and panelist Dr. James was a leader of that study, and we found that around 35 to 40% of the plantation in the country is in the senile age group. So we need to replant those plantations, and thankfully we have schemes approved by the government. Now our target is around 6,000 hectares per year in Kerala. But we are in good. We have identified that issue, and thankfully we could get that scheme fine. So we should accelerate that replanting of senile plantations. And each year, the rubber production department takes a campaign. And this year the campaign was for accelerated replanting. The Honorable Executive Director only inaugurated that campaign, pan-India. But in the next cycle, after this, maybe 2 years, it's for the time which we have these government schemes, I would like to have a campaign on productivity. That's very important throughout India, particularly in Kerala. So we are here. So what I'm saying is, we identify the issues and we are trying to solve those issues, whether it is productivity, whether it is the scarcity of tappers. For scarcity of tappers, we are training more people. We are trying to bring a platform. That's also a vision of our present leader. We are bringing a digital platform wherein the farmers and those people who wish to adopt our plantation can register so that we can bring in more plantations under tapping. So such interventions we are doing. We are planning for schemes to support labor and labor welfare schemes to support the tappers, so that tappers who are coming to the field, we can retain them through good labor welfare schemes. So using such methods, we are trying to address the issues faced by the sector. So as I said earlier, we are here, the rubber board is here, the central government is interested, state government is showing interest. So the problems popping up in the sector will be addressed by these organizations, and definitely the future is bright. Thank you.
In between the panel discussions, we had a very important session where the Executive Director of our Rubber Board and the Rubber Production Commissioner were with us. We started the session with an assurance by our Honorable Member of Parliament that he will be with us for any type of legislative intervention or governmental intervention for addressing the various issues of rubber farmers. Whenever we talk about rubber cultivation and rubber farmers, Rubber Board stands out as the premier institute in the country, not only in Kerala, but in the entire country. They are the pioneers in leading the rubber research and rubber cultivation. We are grateful to Dr. Vasanthagesan for finding time to be with us, for addressing us. And he has been very keen from day one when we met him to be associated with agencies like the TRAMA Kottayam Association and offered his support in finding out solutions for the issues of farmers. So is Dr. Siju, the Rubber Production Commissioner, who is the person to give an authoritative yes, you can go ahead with the rubber cultivation. He was concluding saying that the rubber cultivation future is bright. So I think we have found an answer for our initial question is what is the future of rubber cultivation, and that way I think he deserves a special clap for giving an answer for the question with which we started. Thank you, Dr. Siju, for being with us. Thank you.